I finally seem to have these boots off of my list, so let's talk Grail. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. As you saw from the title of this video, this is about a coveted Grailed item that sat on my list for about a year, the beautiful SLP Wyatt 40 harness boot in the black colorway. Now as you see here, I copped my pair in a relatively newish condition. I love this boot. I will tell you a bit more about the backstory of why this Grailed item came into being. And first off, if you're coming from my previously uploaded minimalist boot collection video, you already were expecting this. If not, and you're new here, welcome to the channel. Make sure you subscribe and give this video a thumbs up, and also check out my other content. But moving on to these beautiful boots right here. Now, I saw them earlier last year at the store in the city, and I seem to really love them. I tried the sizing as well. I tried 3 different sizing. I'll get into that a bit later on in the video. But since these boots are like relatively expensive, they are by no means cheap, and I didn't want to splurge straight into it, so I experimented with the alternatives, which you can find in the other video. I will link it in the description box below. But as time progressed, I used to scout for these in Grail just to see, and I had a ton of them in my liked section in the Grail. And I saw one of the things that I can probably recommend you guys if you're looking for this boot as of today is that you do find boots in this sort of beautiful condition. They are almost like new. I got them Vibrammed as well, and they are for like photo shoots or such, and sometimes they mention it, the sellers mention that, and I got a fairly great price on this, and that's something that I would recommend to check out. Secondly, with regards to the design of this boot, now Wyatt is by all means been around for a decade in the space and has literally goated itself as its position to be the #1 boot, and I think there's a fair reason to it, and I understand why, because I really like this style. I let it marinate in my head, and it grew on me for a year, so I finally decided to make the purchase. So with regards to the design of this boot, why I think this boot holds its place, and it's so at the top of a lot of Grail lists. It's a Grailed item for so many people. I think one of the main reasons is the aesthetic that this boot has sort of managed to create. I think since the story is very well known that the designer for this, Hedi Slimane, had inspiration from another boot by the same name of a classic American company, Thry Boots, and the genius of this design for me lies in the modernization of a really I would say charactered boot. These harness give such a nice character to such a statement boot. It's a very powerful looking black boot, and I think as a minimalist also you can style this, so I'll get into styling a bit later. A couple of differences that I noticed from this and the alternatives, and I would like to point them out here, are the toe box. I really love the toe box on this pair of boots. I think they've used a classic squared out chisel almond toe, and from up top the boot looks really proportionate. It is neither too round nor too pointy or too long. It just falls right. Everything is done very tastefully. Secondly, with the design of the shaft and the harness of these boots, they do tend to change from season to season, and sometimes it's looser, both the shaft and the harness, and I didn't want that. I was scouting pairs that had really form-fitting shaft that's gonna contour better to my ankle. I've already started to put a few creases, and the harness also to stay in place. Finally, also the sizing. Now, this is one thing that I really feel that such a boot needs to have really a sock-like fit. At least for me personally, I would want this to, really conform to my leg. And I see this as being in my collection permanently unless I change my mind otherwise, and still retains value. So that's another plus. But I got the size 43.5, so I I sized down by a half on these. Usually I'm a 44. For example, common projects, I'm 44. And I think this is awesome because it's such a longer boot on the front that this size fits me perfectly. The alternatives sometimes do not offer half sizes, being shoe companies. So that's my main criticism. That's where this really makes the whole difference. I think my foot stays firmly in place both in the front and at the back in the heel cup. The height of the heel of 40 mm does not really bother me. I'm tall, so I really like that, you know, it makes me 6'2" almost. So one of the things regarding styling this is the fact that SLP in their styling does style these boots as ultra skinny, and I am by no means skinny. So one of the things I have in my mind is to probably create content around, you know, styling this for more athletic people. I'm tall and like 185 with 80 kilos plus or minus, but I think this rocks really well with my favorite choice of trousers, which is slim straight. And usually Levi's 511 slim straight is what I base most of my pant fits on, and I really love the classic, you know, elegant slim straights. So this does go well with that. Of course, it does go super well with skinny pants, and also would go well with you know, probably more flared pants if you're into that. So probably in a video maybe about the SLP aesthetic for athletic people could be in the making. If you want to see that, let me know in the comments down below. I think I've covered all of my pointers as to why this, you know, was on my list, and I clearly love these boots. I'm really happy with the condition I got them in. They are, you know, mine to be breaking in. As you see, I've had this boot for 10 days probably, and I've tried to break them in, but the leather's holding up really well. I have a pair of red cedarwood shoe trees, which I'll link it in the description box. They're very nice quality. I found them off of Amazon, and I sized down because both these and my common projects have a narrower front, so a size medium, which fits very well to 43.5 and 44. And yeah, I think that these boots are, you know, neither Guidis or Margiela Tabis. That's the reason that they're special, because they've cemented a sort of more classical shape. And I think a decade from now, these, like the common projects, will always be there in the collection of you know, people who are enthusiastic about footwear. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, leave me a comment. If you are already a Wyatt fanboy, an OG collector, or if you plan to get into these and you have any questions, shoot me a comment down below. Wherever you are, guys, have a good one. Thank you for tuning in. Laters, bye bye.